Lumos. Lumos! Friends, welcome back to Shell Cottage Radio. I'm your host, Ezra, a.k.a. Bill, also known as Sir Ezra the Watchful, History Magic Professor, the Flannel Wizard, obviously. Yours truly, me. Please welcome your lovely design witch, the fascination of this year, Tri-Wizard Champion herself, my wonderful co-host, and yours, Lottie, a.k.a. Fleur.
Hallo und einen wunderschönen guten Tag. It's so good to have you back in our beautiful little cottage on the outskirts of Tinworth. Kommt rein und macht's euch gemütlich. Welcome to episode 87, in which we discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This week we will talk about Chapter 8, the Quidditch World Cup. We'll give you a quick life update with our homemade cottage ketchup, feed our brains with important trivia knowledge, and then dive head-on into our chapter summary audio experience. May the Force be with you all.
May the Force be with you on May the 4th as we record this episode, friends.
Happy May the 4th.
Happy May the 4th be with you. I am just having a grand old day. This is our second recording of the day. We recorded Yoda Stew, A Journey Through Star Wars just earlier, and now we are recording Shell Cottage Radio, my friends. What's going on?
Wow. I didn't know that May the 2nd is actually the International Harry Potter Day. I just thought it was the Battle of Hogwarts, that took place on May the 2nd. That's crazy that they chose Harry Potter Day in such close proximity to Star Wars Day.
They're just copying.
I mean,
I'm a fan. Now listen to me. I'm a fan of both, so I'm cool with them being close by, all right?
I mean, that makes May the best month of the year.
It
because,
does.
I mean,
it
the
does.
School year's almost over.
I gotta say.
Harry Potter Day. It's Star Wars Day. It's
Right. I'm sorry I had
warmer
that.
again.
I gotta apologize. I had a little bit of a gatekeeper attitude there on May the 4th. But you know what? I actually really like this. I'm going to take it back. This is great. So May the 2nd, May the 4th. All the more reason. I got my Obi-Wan Kenobi cloak, which also looks like a wizard's robe because technically he's a space wizard. So we're good. But yeah, that's cool. That's actually really cool.
So if you didn't know, Harry Potter Day is the May the 2nd.
Yeah, in case you guys thought you were really awesome, epic Harry Potter fans like we thought we were just moments ago. I'm sorry. I might have to have a White Claw.
I'm just drinking some ginger ale, and I think this is my new favorite drink besides water.
That's crazy. I'm drinking caffeine.
Let me tell you something.
Late at night. No, let me tell you something after you tell me something.
Okay. Sounds good.
You hear me? Okay.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I tease you a little bit and say, hey, let's get a White Claw and let's go get a little drink and have some fun. And I'm all down to do that. But when it comes to it, then I'm like, I don't really feel like it anymore. I'm just getting old. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
love it. I love it.
It's not even like I don't know. It's just not worth it anymore.
I'd have 2 sips, and then I'd be going live on Instagram, not realizing what I was doing. You know what I mean? So I'm that old. Like, my liver's like, dude, I don't think so. Like, we're already processing a lot down here, and I just can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
So when I say let's have a drink, I literally mean, like, one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like one
and
sip.
It's fun. And I
like,
know we both know that that's enough. And it's not, it saves you money. It saves you a lot of headaches, literally,
the day
after.
For sure.
So, I don't know. I'm kind of, not that it's bad or anything. And there's nothing wrong with, having a glass of wine or whatever you enjoy
absolutely.
once in a while. But I'm actually pretty happy that I don't really have that craving at the moment, and I'm just enjoying my ginger ale.
Here's a podcasting lore trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you know, and I mentioned it on a podcast, I don't know if anybody will or not, my first sip of alcohol officially as a 21-year-old.
You were really 21 years old?
Yes, I was, because let me tell you right now, I am a good boy, okay? And I was a good boy growing up, and I still am. Daggone it, okay? So, yeah.
Okay.
I really was. I mean, honestly, my friend Tiffany from Swish and Flake will tell you, we had just
As is spilling the beans.
I'm spilling the beans. We used to just roast a bunch of meat on a fire. We had marshmallows, we had s'mores, and we had kegs of Mountain Dew. And I mean, they weren't kegs; they were really just us filling up these big jugs full of Mountain Dew. They were everybody. We brought Little Caesars pizzas, and we ate like trash. It was awesome. So that's really what we did.
Wow.
I know, and we video gamed a lot and did marathons.
Awesome. I love that.
That was literally my teenage like crazy party years.
But then you had to make it all up in your 20s.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, so yeah, if anybody does know, I've mentioned it on one podcast. I don't think anybody will get it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. Do you know? Have I ever told you?
Wait, when you had your first drink?
First sip. No, what was it? What type of alcohol was it?
Was it the Long Island iced tea?
Nope.
That was the experienced.
Yeah, that was down the line.
Consumer.
That was down the line. So where am I from? I'm from my family, Scotland.
Kentucky? Oh.
Well, darn it, you spoiled it. No, so yeah, so from
no, that's Irish.
Scotch. Yeah, it was a Scotch.
Scottish whiskey?
I think, isn't it? Is it? Well, now I'm gonna.
Scotch is just whiskey, just Scottish.
Isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
Scotch is what? Scotch whiskey is a malt whiskey, blah blah, made in Scotland. That's what I thought. Just making sure.
I know my whiskeys.
I don't.
I've been to a whiskey tasting.
I don't know anything about them, so.
I don't know that much either.
Okay, so can I tell you a joke?
Please. Is it funny?
I think it's pretty funny. Why can't Harry Potter tell the difference between his best friend and his potions brewing pot?
Weasel.
Mm-hmm. You always try to get
Ron.
it. I'm just gonna give it to you. They're both Cauldron.
Oh my gosh. I was close. I was thinking about his name.
Sorry.
That is actually really good.
That's a really good one, right? Man.
Okay, that was good. I like it. Give me one more. Do you have one more?
I mean, I do. Some of these I feel like, though, they're a little bit... hey, how does Harry Potter get down a hill? Walking. JK, rolling.
Oh, my gosh. Well...
Oh, boy, I'm sorry.
Leave it at... The first one was good.
Yeah, sorry. The first one was good. My bad.
No, it's my fault. I asked for more.
Oh, this one's bad.
Uh-oh.
It's a bad one.
Okay. Is it about snakes?
Possibly. Why could Snape never teach herbology?
Oh, no. It's something bad. Because of Lily.
He couldn't even keep a lily alive.
Oh.
Why did I say that?
It's emotional.
I know. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said it.
But it's
I'm just reading from a list.
It's slightly funny.
Oh
Lily.
my gosh. Are you ready? Who is the most priceless friend Harry has?
Priceless. No price.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dobby, a free elf. Priceless. He's free.
That's actually also a dark joke.
Wait, really?
Well, because, yeah, they do. Because the elves actually work for free.
I'm sorry. It was part of the book.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I was trying. I was trying to just go on, you know.
Okay. Where did you get the jokes from?
Reddit.
Oh.
Yeah, just pulled them some.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Love when people get creative.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Okay.
Back to dun 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 dun. So or
now we know what they say. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's funny. Actually, the song that I like to hum in Star Wars quite a bit is the dun 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 dun, which is the march or like the parade of the Ewoks.
Oh.
Yeah, and you have that little tune.
Yeah, it's not.
Dun 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 dun.
It's cool.
Anyway, sorry. May the 4th be with you. I just want to come back to that real quick because I'm showing on the screen here my lightsaber, my Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 3 lightsaber that I got the other day, and I freaking love this thing. Also have Jedi robes, so gonna be cosplaying.
You look so
down the
cool.
line. Thank you so much. I feel cool.
We got to up the game in our Harry Potter cosplay as well. We have the robes, but we need to get like something to wear underneath the robes.
I feel like I'm sweating on this episode.
Did we have too much coffee?
Whew. No, I mean, that's not even it. I don't look at my glass sweating. Look at my glass sweating.
It's just warm in here. I'm not gonna complain. I'm okay with the winter being over.
Okay, so some cottage ketchup for you, loves.
Yeah, I have some more though. Just want to talk about how cool of an experience last night was Friday night was.
Oh, I didn't know you were. Yes.
I just wanted to catch up with you guys, you know, and let you know, like, if there's, I hope they might, I don't know if they ever do that for Harry Potter now that the show's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the 25th anniversary for Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And it was my first time watching
a Star Wars movie.
An older Star Wars movie in the theater. And it was such a good experience. It was so fun. We went out to eat and then we went to the movies. And it was just such a cool date night because I also got to learn so much more about Star Wars. And you are the one who got me into Star Wars. My brother loved Star Wars, and I kind of knew a little bit, and I wasn't opposed to, like, watching it, but I also never got into it because no one ever explained it to me. No one ever...
Yeah.
You know, if you have a school subject that you just are like, I don't know, I don't care about it, but then all of a sudden there's this one teacher who's just so awesome at explaining it, at making it fun, and that's you. You are a Star Wars teacher. And I hope you get many more people into it because there's so much more for me. And it's not like, it doesn't have anything to do with me being a girl or anything. It's just, I wasn't so much into like the theme of a big war, didn't really appeal to me as much, but there's so much more behind that. And I mean, talking about this, we're talking about Harry Potter where there's also this bad guy and they go to war kind of and stuff, but you know what I mean? Like with big lightsaber fights which now I really appreciate the choreographies and how they look and stuff like that. But back in the day, I just didn't understand it as much.
Sure, yeah. Well, I think, for example, when you got me into Avatar, which is another fandom that we like a lot, and I all of a sudden went down a rabbit hole with that, I'm thinking this is really cool. I just wish there were more. I think at some point you can sort of exhaust a fan. I'm a person who needs a lot of lore. A lot of
let me just live in that universe.
Yeah, I want there to be so much that not even my big head can handle it all. Okay, so and there is way too much in Star Wars. Like it's 40 years plus. I mean,
it's great.
Crazy.
You can explore and look for backstories for almost every single character, and that's pretty cool.
And I kind of I'm hoping that same thing sort of for Harry Potter. Like, it doesn't need to grow super fast overnight, but I'm glad that we've expanded back to Fantastic Beasts, and I'm glad that there's some stuff there. There's some stuff in Hogwarts Legacy now, and that feels really cool. So I think that's why I've sort of settled into these two fandoms. These are my two loves.
Yeah.
And it just feels really cool. It's just like the one got me through my childhood, and then the other one here help me meet the love of my life, so there we go, getting a little cheesy, but anyway, it just feels really, really cool to experience that with you and to have you there and to have you checking out episode 1 again and me sharing some of my full disclosure. I was like made the joke on the other podcast, I'm like, Ez was 12 when I watched that, and Lottie was just a little 6-year-old.
I know,
just chilling. I don't even know what Star Wars is. It's just funny.
But yesterday I was really into it, and part of it is because you're in the theater and you're not at home distracted by things you could do. Sometimes we go into this gotta be productive mode, and watching a movie you kind of already watched feels like you could do something else while watching it and not pay attention to it fully. And I sometimes catch myself doing that. So at the theater I shut my phone off and I was just watching it and really getting into it and following the dialogue, because I am guilty often of getting carried away by, like, I have a thought and all of a sudden my brain follows that thought while the movie keeps playing, and then there's dialogue that I missed, and then there's plot I missed, and then I was like, oh.
Which is why I control the controller. Brain that just
goes all
I
over.
Pause as soon as Lottie asks a question. She doesn't even notice I pause sometimes. I pause it and she's still talking about her thought, and I just,
I know.
It's sweet and cute.
That's why I want to learn how to meditate, though, a little bit more. Because I want to be able to, I don't know, just have better control over this ever ongoing, like, train of thought. Honestly, I have so many thoughts sometimes.
It's okay.
It's overwhelming.
I'm sorry.
And I remember, though, I had such a good time in the car back home, we were talking about the movie and so many things I just wanted to share with you. I remember I was like, we were at home. I was still talking and I was like, I'm sorry. I have so many random thoughts about this movie.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get them all out because I know you're into it. And
I wish the microphones would have been on. We could have we had some great, deep episode 1 conversations, which we will continue in the future. But it's cool. That's what fandom's about. And I think that's why we love doing what we do here on Chuck Cottage Radio. And it's why over on Yoda Stew, we're going to continue to do that same thing. It's just, you got to get it out. You got to dig into it. It's fun to relive. It's fun to explore the themes and think about how these characters go through trials, tribulations, their hero journeys, and all that kind of stuff. It's inspiring. And it's great.
Yes. What else is going on in the cottage? I'm back to watching Korean dramas.
Yes, you are.
I blame the stress at school. Because to me, it's so funny. I'm not really into like real serious dramas. I can't handle it when I already have a lot of drama or problems going on in my life. I don't want more.
Right.
I don't want to experience emotionally more problems by watching a very real serious drama or TV show or stuff like that. But Korean dramas, they just help me relax and laugh and get into it. So like I sit there and I'm like, why did he do that? Why does he and or why does she not tell him? It's so ridiculous. And they're so ridiculous. Like, you can only watch them if you absolutely accept the ridiculously of some of the scenes. And they're just, and then it's just cute and funny and adorable. And I don't know. I just love them so much.
It's a great formula.
They help me get through.
I've gotten sucked into them as well. And I would like to also make a note here because as you were talking about the stress level of those, I'm like, they're not very stressful. At all. I mean, really, they're very just chill.
Because you can't really take, sometimes they get serious, but it never gets so like, it always has this, okay, this is not real. But it's also at the same time, it addresses real things in life. So
but the one Korean, I can't talk. The one Korean drama that we did not finish was getting too serious. If you remember that, like there was like a car ride and they almost died, and I was like, she got kidnapped. This was too much. So that wasn't good for us, and we never finished it. I will say, and with an E, for example, is that same low-level type of drama. Anytime Matthew Cuthbert got on his horse, it was like just as ridiculous as, right?
Yeah.
Like anytime that something was breaking down or somebody was choking and they had to, I don't know. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it wasn't. It was so simple. It was so like this is okay. And it was chill and cozy, right?
Yes.
So if anybody knows of any other shows like that, like Aaaaand with an E or any of these,
always looking for them.
Something that mimics that Korean drama style, like let us know because whether it's Netflix or whatever streaming service it is.
I know they have tons, but sometimes it's hard to choose.
Yeah. So let us know some of the best ones because we're always looking for that dinner kind of sit down, eat, watch something, chillax.
Or British drama. We also we love Harry Potter. And I remember in one of our seminars at university, we were talking about British culture. And like it ended up being this whole like fanboying over British TV shows.
Oh, they're awesome.
It was so funny.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, like Downton Abbey is super good, right? Super good show.
Yes.
Yeah. And then even though it's not really, it kind of mimics it. It's like the Bridgerton series, for example. That's not serious at all, and it's not really, but it's mimicking that sort of British style. But other British TV shows, let me think. I feel like there was one that we were just watching on BBC, and I can't remember. Oh,
well, Aaaaand with an E felt like it was a little British, but it was Canadian.
Yeah.
It's just got that Scotland vibe sometimes. I think that's why it feels like we just saw one.
Anyway. So yeah. Cool, though.
Just a little update for you guys. I don't know if you even care, but it's sometimes it's just nice sharing things and things you like and learning about new things. Sometimes I hear on another podcast about things that might interest me, and then I try it out or check it out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, Quidditch. Smooth.
So Quidditch,
Hey,
guys.
before we get into Quidditch training, or actually it's the real deal, it's the Quidditch game, let's get into a game of trivia.
Okay.
Uh-oh, did you prepare questions?
Yeah, get 'em right here.
Okay, let's hear the gong.
Can you guys believe that Lottie, every episode is like, so did you bring your trivia or what? Huh? Did you bring your trivia question? Bet you didn't. And I did. Every time.
One day I'm going to catch you. So, do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. Don't change your question.
I ain't changing it.
All right. Name one player of each finalist team, Quidditch team. It can't be the seeker, though. So each team, name at least one player of each team with the correct name, but except for the seekers.
Oh boy. So Avery Lynch was the seeker for Ireland, right?
Aiden Lynch. Yeah.
Oh, Avery then. Isn't Avery one of the other? Isn't it a name?
Avery's one of the Death Eaters.
Dang it.
Aiden. It's Aiden.
Oh man. Okay.
So yeah, I can't
mix
say Aiden
something.
Lynch.
There's a ah boy. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know.
You
a
can
single
even just give me
one
last
of
names.
Johnson. But
Angelina.
let me think here.
Angelina Johnson.
What about what are some Irish last names? You know? Can't I think of any of them?
Dun, 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 dun,
Don't know.
dun, dun.
Don't know.
Nothing?
And if I can't think of the Irish names, I sure as heck can't think of the Bulgarian names. So Ez, did you read this chapter? Bro?
Mullet, Troy, Moran, Connolly. Troy, back to Moran. Moran scores.
Okay.
Okay, Bulgarians.
Of course I knew that.
Dimitrov, Ivanova, Levski, Volkanov, Volkov, Zagreb.
How many of you guys? Someone write me did anybody else blank? Did anybody else legitimately sitting in your car listening to the podcast going, yeah, I'm with this. I don't remember a single one of those guys. Like Lynch and Krum. Cool.
The keeper of the Irish national team is Barry Ryan.
Barry Ryan.
Yeah, for some reason he has first and last name, and then the rest only.
Oh, he's the keeper. He's the keeper.
keeper.
Sorry, I thought you said okay.
And then for the Bulgarians, we get way more first names. Interesting. Just a fun fact on that.
Well, okay, didn't get the point.
All right.
Moving on. My question. You ready?
Yeah.
What did Sirius eat to survive while he was in hiding this whole time? While he's in
Sirius
hiding.
Black?
Sirius Black. He's been in hiding since last book. So from the last book until now, what has he been eating to survive?
Huh. Wait a second.
Hold on.
Squirrels?
Squirrels? What is wrong with you?
What? He's a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog.
So he's been eating what?
This is super ironic.
Mice.
Rats.
No. I was
Peter
so
Pan.
close.
Peter
You
Pan. I mean-
didn't even give me the chance. I gave you a little longer to think. And
You gave me
guess.
2 wrong answers.
What?
You said squirrels, and then you said mice.
Yeah, I was getting closer. The next guess was rats.
You don't get to guess 3 or 4 times. You got to know it. Either know it or you don't.
Okay, I guess I didn't know it.
That's okay.
He was
All right.
eating rats. Maybe he thought, oh, hopefully one of them is Peter. Wouldn't that be kind of gross?
Ugh, it's weird.
Yeah.
I think rats were just there, and so he had to eat rats.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Poor Sirius.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. You got blue?
Blue.
I don't think you know this one.
Yeah, I know.
How many players are on a Quidditch team?
7.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What about the reserves?
2 reserves. 9. 7.
It's 7.
Ding, 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 ding. Roll the dice.
Orange.
Okay.
Orange.
In whose vault is the sword of Gryffindor believed to be hidden?
Believed to be. Okay, so the fake sword. We're
Yeah.
talking about the fake sword. Then it's Bellatrix's.
Correct.
Yes.
So we each got a point.
So boring. We
Boring
both
time.
get a point. I don't have my phone here. So that means we both just get a point. We just have to remember this.
You might want to write it down in the doc.
Okay. It's May the 4th. And both get 1 point. Okay, pretty good. I see.
Oh,
I
boy.
see. You're ready for the action, the summary.
Give me some action.
Oh, there is some action in this chapter. Let me get comfy. Chapter 8, the Quidditch World Cup. When they hear the gong announcing that the game would start soon, Harry, Hermione, and the Weasleys follow the well-lit path to the stadium. They venture through the forest adjacent to their campgrounds until they discover the huge arena that's designed to accommodate 100,000 people. The Ministry Witch checking the tickets directs them all the way upstairs to the top box, which hosts only 20 top premium seats, all decked out in purple and gold. Thanks to Ludo Bagman, 10 of them were reserved for Arthur's party. Harry takes a second to appreciate the spectacular view of the field and the stadium filling up with thousands of witches and wizards. He spots a giant display panel across from their box and watches advertisements of various magical products and services flash by. As Harry looks around to see who else is sitting with them in the premium box, he notices a small figure resembling his friend Dobby the house elf. However, this one turns out to be Winke, a female house elf who is reserving a seat for her master, Mr. Crouch. Harry and Winke discuss Dobby's unconventional desire to be paid for his work, which shocks Winke as it goes against traditional house elf practices. Their arrival at the top box is marked by the presence of notable figures such as Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic, who acknowledges Harry warmly. The atmosphere turns tense for a moment when the Malfoys arrive and Arthur and Lucius exchange rather cold greetings. Under the eye of the minister, Lucius Malfoy does not dare to show his true face and his disapproval of Hermione's presence in the premium box, although in his eyes, she, as a Muggle-born, is of lesser blood. With Fudge and the Bulgarian minister around, both parties are forced to hide their strong mutual dislike for each other. But they are quickly distracted by Bagman's voice welcoming the cheering crowd and announcing both mascots and teams. Bulgaria's mascots, the Veelas, captivate the audience with their enchanting beauty and mesmerizing dance performance. This is countered by the Irish mascots, the Leprechauns, who whimsically shower the stands with gold. And then the match kicks off, with the Irish team showing exceptional coordination right from the start. They quickly build a significant lead through aggressive scoring. Harry has trouble keeping up with the match, even when using his omnioculars. Meanwhile, Viktor Krum, the Bulgarian seeker, demonstrates his impressive flying skills with a Vronsky feint. This causes the Irish seeker, Aidan Lynch, to crash in an attempt to mimic his opponent. A medical team rushes onto the field and is able to patch him up so he can keep playing. The Irish chasers are motivated more than ever to continue their spectacular streak and score one goal after another. But soon the game gets a bit nastier. The Veela distract the referee, then we witness a couple more fouls, while the mascots almost get into an actual fight. The match reaches a climax when Krum's nose is broken by a bludger, but then Lynch starts chasing the snitch, and Krum, with his nose still bleeding, follows right behind him. Despite Bulgaria's slim chance of winning, Krum dives right past Lynch and captures the tiny golden ball, closing the score gap to Bulgaria 160 and Ireland 170 points. Catching the snitch immediately ends the game, and therefore Ireland wins the match and triumphs as winner of the Quidditch World Cup. Still, Krum's strategic play and bravery does not go unnoticed, especially by Hermione. The evening concludes with the whole stadium erupting in cheers for both the victorious Irish team and the incredible efforts of Krum. The premium box lights up so the entire stadium can see inside. Both teams enter the box, and after congratulating the Bulgarians on a good match, Bagman awards the cup to the Irish national team. Once the ceremony is over, Fred and George can't wait to collect their winnings from their bet with Bagman, as they have predicted the match's outcome correctly.
Oh, boy. Great job on the summary. Got all them details in there, but you forgot one thing.
Uh-oh.
One thing you left out. Why didn't Hermione end up with Victor Krum?
What do you mean? They're ending up together.
Why didn't Hermione end up with Victor Krum?
You mean after the game?
Because he wasn't a keeper. You know what I'm saying? These are the details. These are the details.
He was seeking her.
Yeah, he was just a seeker.
He wasn't the keeper.
He wasn't the keeper, baby.
How did...
Ron was the keeper.
Well, that's true. Oh, my goodness.
Let's go.
But how did Ginny and Harry then end up together?
Oh, boy. I don't know. Chaser and Seeker. I mean, I don't know. Meant to, it only works for Victor for this love
No,
triangle,
great. That was actually really good.
I
Did
know,
you make
right?
that up on the spot?
Well, I actually found a different joke that said, like, why did Hermione end up with Ron? He's a keeper. And so I just turned it around.
Oh, smarty pants.
Yeah. What's his name? Colin say he turned it, like, I always love this little quote. It's in the movie where he's running up to, Ron does the slugs backfire on him.
Yeah.
And Colin runs up, he takes a picture, you know. He's like, can you turn it around, Harry? No, Colin, get out of here.
Wait,
Funny.
what does that have to do with everything?
Just yeah, I know, right? It was just somebody. You said the phrase, "Can you turn it around?" I turned it around.
Oh, my
I'm sorry. I'm super distracted right now by
I was like,
everything. Anyway,
yeah, pretty intense chapter. To start us off, I want to know, what is the largest sport event that you have ever attended?
that I've ever attended.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I would probably say like an Ohio State football game.
Okay.
I would think. I think it's that, or I went to a Bengals Browns game.
Yeah.
And in an NFL game, I think that might have been pretty big. But I feel like Ohio State was bigger. I think the Ohio State game had more fans. Pretty sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so I went to that. Yeah, we used to go out to Indiana and watch Indiana play Ohio State out there because Dad liked the drive and we just liked the stadium.
So football games were the biggest events you've ever been to?
Yeah, I'm thinking. As far as I can recall, yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
It wasn't really like a huge event, but definitely the most memorable for me was the beach volleyball World Cup in Germany in Hamburg, because when you play the sport yourself, it's so I mean, you were a football player, so for you it's just different than for someone who like me who I've never played football. I think it's still interesting to watch now that I understand it more. But volleyball has always been so much fun to watch and so much fun to like Harry, if I had, and that's one of the questions later actually, if I had omnioculars to replay some of the plays and rallies and get the details on what they did here, what kind of play they did and stuff like that. It's so fun. And to see them, the coolest thing actually about that World Cup was that it felt like you were so close to the field and the players.
Yeah.
You know, those are the best players in the world. And there's actually the U.S. team was pretty good too.
Yeah.
He's like 40 in his 40s and he still plays. Phil Dahlhauser, I think is his name. And they just travel around and play their beach volleyball tournaments. So it wasn't large in terms of lots of like a big crowd watching.
Yeah.
The main stadium though was pretty big.
Okay.
Like there was probably not hundreds of thousands, but a few thousand would fit in there.
Yeah.
And it was open air, like they had definitely room up there, and they were able to close that though if the weather was pretty bad. I don't think they had to, but there's this one player who had a special serve.
Yeah.
So when you get to professional level, you don't really underhand serve anymore because it's too easy to receive that one. The jump serve is like one of the hardest actually. Float and jump serves are the hardest to receive.
Yeah.
But there's this one Italian player who just developed this technique of, they call it sky ball. So it's underhand serve, but it's so high that it's very hard to receive because you have to like anticipate the ball, and then there's lots of wind. The sun, sometimes you have the sun coming from that direction, so it's hard to see. He just perfected that technique, and it looks ridiculous. And that's what gets to people's heads. Because they think this is so ridiculous. How can he score points with this? But then they get out of focus.
Yep.
and they get
Unbalanced.
distracted. They get unbalanced.
Yeah, I bet it would. And honestly, I mean, not gonna lie to you, I've got a mean underhand serve myself.
You always promise that, but I still don't know.
I'm really good at it. I remember in gym class. I mean, I was like, seriously, I could put it anywhere. Back corner, where do you want it? Like, I mean, it'd be coming down on them. They'd be like, it's out.
Yeah.
And just right in the corner, right in the corner. It's in. You know, I mean, it was that good. So, but yeah, my talents, they were more on the football field, and so that's where I went and hit
Cool,
people. Anyway,
Not really.
no,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's pretty neat to think about the different, I guess, big arenas or places that you've been and stuff. I don't know if I'd want to go to anything much bigger than what I've been to, though. It's so wild. I love that we have TV.
True. You can sometimes, I mean, in the Muggle world, we don't really have the omnioculars yet. You could go online and watch like a stream on your phone where they do the replays.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
can
not
also
like
replay it
you
yourself.
choose your. What do you mean?
Well, with TV, you can just go back.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you're in the stadium, you're less likely to do that, right? It's something different being live, like there. Actually, that brings me to a question. Do you think there was some kind of broadcasting of that game? Like people who couldn't make it?
Great question. I don't know. We all saw it, so somebody recorded it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know though. In the wizarding world, if they do that, if they sell some sort of special thing,
Yeah.
You would think. I mean, in this time at the '90s, everyone's watching Michael Jordan play basketball and
Right.
stuff. So I feel like they do. We just never really talk about it.
We know they have radio, so maybe they have a
Oh, yeah.
commentator. They
Right.
hear
Yeah, that would be
on the
cool.
radio.
That would be cool to hear the.
he's just like, mullet. Not right.
Yeah, it's really exactly what we heard in the book. It's
Right.
just again, there's that ongoing commentary that we get from Bagman, right?
Right. It's so fast. You can't even. I mean, that was one of my questions. Since Harry has those omnioculars, which help him, but then also you have to kind of make sure you catch up at some point to see where the game's at. But which sport is so fast you would love to have omnioculars to slow him down or watch replays?
Oh boy, I don't know. Basketball's pretty good. Baseball's fine. Football's good. Don't know. I mean, tennis can be pretty fast, right? I guess maybe. Don't outside of that. Not sure.
I would say absolutely volleyball can get really fast, and
Okay.
sometimes I wish I had omniocular thingy to do the replays, just because I'm so interested in it.
Yeah.
And I know some different plays and would love to analyze it more and what the defender did and what the attacker did and the blocker and stuff like that.
Right.
But for me, like the hardest game to watch is probably hockey, like ice hockey, because I can never see where the puck.
Yeah, that'd be like trying to
that
find
thing
the
is.
snitch out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no one can see it.
I just watch the players do their thing, and sometimes they're doing fake stuff, and sometimes they get into fights, so I have no clue.
Right. Yeah, good point. Good point.
But yeah, that would be helpful to have those things there.
Right.
Another question I have for you, do you think that squibs can attend? Because I noticed that Harry, or that not just Harry, but in the book it's always described as it's thousands of witches and wizards. And then I thought, well, what about squibs? Could Mrs. Fig come to this event?
Possibly, yeah. I guess so.
Like, do anti-muggle spells? They said the stadium is full of them. Would they work on squibs?
No, I don't know. Jeez, I don't know. Like Mrs. Fig?
Or Filch?
Yeah.
No, that's proof. Filch is
Right.
not affected because he works at Hogwarts. He's not
Right.
affected by the castle's spells. Or, I mean,
He's already
if he
there.
was, maybe there was he got some sort of special spell on him that he can. But I doubt it. I think that squibs are not affected by anti-muggle security spells.
Yeah. Yeah, I would guess so too. I don't know. But because there's that whole debate about could they see Dementors and can they see things,
Yeah.
right?
We never really know if Mrs. Fig was just lying for Dumbledore and Harry.
Right. For sure, it seems like she was lying. It seems like squibs can't see Dementors, which makes me think that maybe
I don't know.
they can't see certain things that are, I don't know, like that are anti-Muggle protected.
It's almost like they're on a spectrum, like in Star Wars, they have the midichlorian counts and how susceptible you are to the Force, right?
Mhm.
And I think there is a spectrum also with magical abilities, and squibs are just on the very low end.
Could
so
be.
that they can't do spells. I mean, there's a reason why there is a quick spell thingy
Sure.
that
That Filch
that Filch has, and it seems to be more like for wizards who are still considered wizards,
Mhm.
not squibs, but their abilities are very, like, they have a very hard time to perform even like very easy spells, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
If you're like on the very, very low end, like a squib would be, maybe you have just a little bit of magic left so you can interact with it more, like other than muggles,
Sure.
but you can't conjure it up yourself.
Yeah, one of the things I think, Neville Longbottom, his family thought at one point that he was a squib. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were not sure until he bounced.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's a wizard. Okay.
He bounced.
But
Bye.
yeah, I guess because think about that. He's coming from a super powerful wizarding family and he might be a squib.
Right.
So it seems like, yeah, he would be raised around Quidditch and all these other things too. And he would have access to Diagon Alley and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a great question though.
I do think there is some. Among 100,000 people, I think there is some squibs.
Yeah.
Even though they seem to be rare. But
Sure.
yeah. So I think it's interesting that the Weasleys and Harry and Hermione, they get to sit at the premium box, the best seats in this giant stadium.
Yep.
And there's only 20 seats in this box.
Right.
10 of them are reserved for the Weasleys and friends, which seems crazy. And I just want to make clear, that's what I noticed when I read this chapter. And then I went online and I found this video by Carlin Brothers, Super Carlin Brothers, and they also talked about it, how crazy this is, that Bagman gave away 10 of the 20 best tickets for the seats, which he could have sold for probably thousands, It sounds like there was a favor that he still owed to Arthur, and that's why he did that.
Right.
So don't know if he got in trouble or not, but it's just, they have speculated, though, about what, that Dumbledore had his hands in.
Right. I think they speculated that, like, before you were asking me, like, why.
Yeah.
And, like, because they had this whole theory about Dumbledore's greater plan, and we didn't watch the whole video, but you had skipped right to the part where they're talking about the Quidditch stuff. And you're like, well, why would Dumbledore want them to go to Quidditch? And we didn't finish the video. And then I said, well, probably to be exposed to this larger wizarding world and to really see this and to know what's at stake.
I really like that, yeah.
And then literally you press play, and that's exactly what they said. So feel kind of like we just, stumbled right into their video and didn't realize it. But yeah, that's, essentially might be the case. I didn't understand, I don't know what the whole grander Dumbledore theory there was, but I do think it's interesting. There's something fishy about it. There's something fishy that the Weasleys got these 10 tickets that, Draco's father, Lucius, basically says, what did you sell?
Right. Your house wouldn't have made you enough money to buy these tickets. And that's what that's what I was wondering when Arthur talked about cheaper tickets. They had to, he has a party of 10 people.
Sure.
And there's other people who have to come 2 weeks early so they could afford their tickets.
Yeah. Yep.
And we know they're not very well off, like financially.
Yeah, and it's also odd, like when Harry gets the communication, it's less than a week out, right? So
yes,
it seems like this was short notice, and it's sort of like, I owe Arthur this favor. I think he did owe him a favor, and but it could be as the Super Carlin Bros were mentioning, that maybe Dumbledore or somebody else did say there's a reason for Harry to be there or the reason for the Weasleys to go. I don't know.
Right. It seems like it. And I think it also plays into this trying to make Ludo Bagman one of the suspects. Right? Like, why did he help them go to the Quidditch World Cup when he knew, maybe if you think, okay, he was behind all of that, and there was Death Eaters that night who attacked the camp, basically.
Yeah. I think the other thing that's interesting is that they bought tickets for Harry and Hermione, or acquired tickets, right? It's like Bagman could have just given the Weasleys enough for just his family.
Maybe it was. And then Molly said, well, I'm staying here since, I want Harry to go. Who else could have gone and didn't go?
I think that's it.
Just Molly. So they had one ticket.
Right. So they they only need 9 and they have 10.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like maybe it was like, hey, we're going to have all of you guys go and take Harry with you. And then Molly's like, well, I'm not going to go. And then Jenny got Hermione.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah. But what's odd is that it costs so much money for these tickets and that Harry and Hermione don't have to pay for anything. And that they just got these free tickets, top box.
Just
suspicious.
Just very fishy.
Sus. Very
sus. Yep.
So, don't know. Great point, though.
But I love how Harry is super into the game and how he experiences all of that stuff. And it's just so nice to see before all of the stuff goes down in Hogwarts and later on in this book, to see him so excited and so stoked about, first of all, seeing all these different wizards and witches from all over the world, and then seeing professionals. He's never seen professionals play Quidditch, right?
The speed was
like
much
that's
faster.
His favorite sport, and he was. I can only imagine how awesome this was for him. That was probably one. I mean, one thing he still talks about probably later on with his kids and Ginny, and remember that Quidditch World Cup final.
Crazy thing is, I mean, I know Hermione's a fan of just everything in the wizarding world in general, because she's coming into this all brand new, but she's not much of a sports person. But she does root for Harry and the team and everything. But for her being there, it's just sort of like, wow, what's going on? She's and at one point it's funny because she's Harry's getting caught up in the technical bits. And she's just sitting back without the oculars and just enjoying the game. And she'll tell him kind of like, hey, look up and just enjoy this whole experience. Yeah. But it was kind of cool to see her just. Yeah,
and she's really into it, right?
Really, she's just a true
and
fan.
Dances around and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets carried away with the excitement. All of them are super fans. And so it was really neat to see them get and go to have this experience.
Yeah.
So.
Let's take a look at the national teams. I want to just attempt to pronounce their names and just to pay tribute to those players. So we have the chasers of the Bulgarian team are Dimitrov Ivanova, which is a woman. So again, Quidditch is obviously co-ed, and it's really cool. I love that it's co-ed even on professional level. So Ivanova is Clara. Her name is Clara, and then Levski is also chaser. And then we have the beaters, Volkanov and Volkov. Keeper is Zograf. And then the seeker is Victor Krum. And Irish national team is Mullet, Troy, Moran, Connolly, Quigley, Ryan, and Lynch. And super cool that Aidan Lynch shares a last name with Ivana Lynch, who plays Luna in the movies.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it seems to be, I don't know if that's a very common Irish name, actually. So those are the players. They're all successful professional Quidditch players. And I wonder if the Irish players actually attended Hogwarts at some point. If Hogwarts is the school for all of Britain and Ireland. You would think so, right?
Yeah.
Or if Ireland has its own school.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I bet they do, right? I bet they do attend Hogwarts.
I think so too, because isn't Seamus is Irish, so I would think so.
Yeah, it depends on which,
That's kind of cool to think about it, because
which part?
If Krum is only 18, then it's not unlikely that some of the Irish players are around, like in their 20s, and someone like Charlie or Bill might have known some of them, like when they were first, second year. Some of them might have been older students. Yeah,
good point. Maybe he played against him.
Yeah.
Charlie,
right? Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
For Charlie, it probably was a huge event, too, to attend. And, I mean, Ginny, who also ends up being a professional later on.
Right.
So, super cool that they got to go and watch it.
Yeah.
So, the players enter, and I think they already start the game, but then also they announce the mascots of both teams. And on the Bulgarian team, we have the Veelas.
The what?
The Veela.
Who are they?
They are creatures very similar to the Greek sirens. Right?
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. I wasn't paying any attention to the Veelas.
Oh, yeah, because you had your...
I really don't know
your ears covered.
Veela who?
Oh, you're like Arthur. You're immune to the Veela.
What's a Veela? You know, I mean, I never looked their direction ever.
Yeah, that's cute.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Veela are actually described as human-like magical beings, so they are magical beings, who appeared as young, beautiful women with white gold hair and moon-bright skin native to Bulgaria. Their looks, and especially their dance, were hypnotically seductive to almost all people that are attracted to women, which caused them to perform foolhardy and impulsive actions to get closer to and receive admiration from the Veela.
Let me. I must be living with one, okay? Because I never. I don't know what they're about. I don't understand anything about them. But
you're so cute.
I will say, I love that Arthur is just like by the end of this, he's just like
grinning.
See, guys, ain't all about the looks, right? Ain't all about
yeah,
it.
that's right. Later on, yeah.
Right? He tells them because they turn mean, nasty, and they run across. They're really vicious, and
I think in the next
they didn't
chapter,
look so so beautiful there, did they? I was like, ooh, you know.
Wait, does he say that in this chapter?
This chapter during the fight.
Oh, whoops, yeah.
They come across at the leprechauns.
Right,
They actually run onto the they run onto the field.
Fire and stuff. They set the referee's broom on fire.
Right. Now again, I wasn't paying any attention to him, but I was paying attention to Arthur, and Arthur said that. So, crazy.
Well, we know for a fact that Veelas can mingle with muggles. What? I don't know. Maybe they can't.
Maybe. Maybe.
Definitely with wizards and witches. And Fleur is quarter Veela. So her mom was half Veela and her grandmother was a full Veela.
Let me tell you something real quick, though. Not a one of those Veela on that field can compete with Molly Wobbles. So
that's why Arthur is immune. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know what kind of power they thought they had, but it has a limit, my friends.
Either he knew to cover his ears, like most people probably did. I don't know.
Who, Arthur?
Yeah, or he just was.
It don't matter.
Not really.
They could stand right next to him. They could whisper in his ear. He'd be like, "Excuse me, I'm trying to watch the game."
Get out
of here! What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
My gosh.
That is actually.
I'm an
adorable.
Arthur. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an Arthur. So.
You are actually an Arthur.
Thanks.
Because everyone loves Arthur. Sorry, but he's just awesome.
Oh, I aspire to be more like Arthur every day. Not gonna lie, tinkering away out there, doing my thing. Oh gosh, I love it.
Not that it's bad. It's actually kind of hilarious how Harry and Ron lose control, and they're two young boys, and Hermione and Ginny are like. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This is my experience in high school.
Yeah.
Every day. So it's like, what's the drama? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's the way that she walked past him, Mr. Kirk. She shouldn't have done that.
I know.
She shouldn't even be walking over here. She has class over there. She shouldn't even be here.
I know. I'm trying to teach sometimes. My 8th graders are like that too already. I'm trying to teach. But hey, no. Frau Kirk, this is important. This is important.
This just went down, Frau Kirk, and we got to talk about it. It's like, guys, listen, we got class. Learning target number 15. Come on.
It's hilarious, actually. They're
yeah, it's funny.
They're cute. So, on the other side, the Irish mascot are leprechauns, and leprechauns are also actual creatures from Irish folklore, I think. Right? So they're ones
real.
Who are known to be little pranksters. They're not native to Ireland, and they were fully sentient. Oh yeah, so sentient and capable of speech, but never requested the British Ministry of Magic to reclassify them as beings. We had that classification in one episode where wizards, and also I think there was a whole fight about Mermish people and what else? At some point, they defined trolls as beings, but then they went back and said, "Oh, they can't really participate in our decision making. So let's put them back into the animal category." But leprechauns, they are smart, just like goblins are, just like house elves are, and they are supposed to be forest dwellers.
Yeah.
They enjoyed attracting Muggle attention to themselves, playing pranks on them.
Yep, and you guys know where you can find them at the end of the
Yes,
rainbow.
that's it. They're the yes.
Right at the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold.
Created in
They
the
got
form
that
of
leprechaun
galleon
gold. Here's an
coins.
interesting fact for you guys.
Yeah.
So I found this also here on the wiki.
Mhm.
Professor Flitwick, Warwick Davis, who plays
Mhm.
him, right? He starred as the main leprechaun in the Leprechaun comedy horror film series. Just to throw that out there. Lottie will never watch that. Some of you who
It's a
have
horror
seen it,
movie.
it's bad.
Have you ever seen it?
Bits and pieces back when I
Oh.
was young. Wow, it's stupid. It's crazy.
Wow.
And scary. So yeah, there was an old movie that I watched, and I think it must have been on TV or something one time, and there was a banshee and a bunch of leprechauns, and it was scary stuff. And I remember it was something Irish, and my mom was watching it, and I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
I had somehow stayed up, pretended to fall asleep on the couch, but one eye was open, watching this scary show. You know?
Yeah. That's
Anyway.
cute.
Yeah.
I like Irish mythology. I don't know. I like fairies and stuff. I remember one of the first movies we watched was you were just dying to show me this movie
Yeah.
because I was from Europe.
Oh,
Eurovision.
Eurovision.
And
And the fairies.
And yeah, she was into fairies, and she actually believed in them, and that's
Right.
really cool.
And they were real.
Yeah.
They stepped out there. I think they knifed somebody. It was crazy. They were all over the place. They were active.
Yep. All right, moving on in the chapter, we have a new character introduced, Winke the house elf. My co-host is winking at me while I'm saying the word Winke. Yeah, Winke the house elf, which Harry
Harry mistakenly identified her.
took her for Dobby.
We got there.
Harry thought it was Dobby, okay? Turns out it's a female house elf, and she is Mr. Crouch's house elf. Both Mr. Crouch's house elf.
Yeah, and she's scared to death. And I am
poor thing.
with her on this. I think it might even have been the Ohio State game, or maybe it was. Yeah, it was. I've been to a couple. And when you go up to the top, the tippy top, and you look down, it's sort of like...
It's high up there.
I could parachute down into the field. Give me a slight running start here, which you can't really get. But like I could almost jump and land on the field.
Yeah.
Like you feel like the stadium just stretches straight up. And you feel like you're almost like on your hands and knees, like just climbing, like you're climbing up the. There's stairs, you can walk on them, but it feels so steep.
Yeah.
So I'm with Winke. I'm out on the heights thing. It's just not my thing.
No, I get it, and I feel so bad for her in this situation, but she knows Dobby, and she kind of asks Harry, "Do you think you did him a favor?" I'm not so sure, because now he has like these thoughts that he shouldn't have as a house elf, like getting paid for his work. And you kind of wonder, man, do they really feel this way? Or is it, their belief system that's ingrained through wizards and through conditioning? Like when they were born, right? That's what they learned. That's how it is.
Right.
But then we see later with Hermione, who tries to help them, who tries to force it upon them, even though that's the whole question, right, with house elves, and it's pretty interesting. They're happy that way. Most of them seem to be, at least. I don't know if there's some among them, like Dobby, who are like kind of interested in that idea and being more free and maybe getting paid and even like days off.
Right.
But they're afraid to voice their opinion. But it seems like, I don't know, like Hermione sometimes overdoes it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's just trying to
force it upon them, right? I think in this case, you just have to offer help whenever, like if you also believe in this is not right or they should have more rights, offer help as much as you can, but don't push them. I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
So because I feel like some of them really want that life, and it's a very, very tricky topic. But the way the house elves are just conditioned Winke definitely is shocked by the idea of getting paid, and she would do anything for her master, even saving him a seat up in the premium top box, which also makes me wonder, why would Winke have to save Crouch a seat in the premium box? It's not like there's plenty of people walking up there trying to get a seat. like you would think in that premium box they have tickets
Mhm.
pre-purchased for a certain seat,
Right.
and that they like Crouch can just come up any time with his ticket, right?
Right, but we don't want anybody, if she's not there and somebody just is like, you know what, I'm going to stretch out a little bit and sit up here in this other row,
Maybe.
and they sit on the person under the invisibility cloak.
Mm-hmm. True. I mean, I get why she has to be there, but her reasoning behind it is kind of a weak argument
Right.
to me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
Wasn't he under the invisibility cloak up
yeah,
there? Barty Crouch Jr.? Okay.
Junior was, but no
Yeah.
one knows that.
But he's sitting there in a seat that looks unoccupied then.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no one sitting there, it looks
Mhm.
like. So,
I don't know. Did Crouch never, like, Senior, did he never show up because he knew that Junior is there with Winke? And if he showed up, then there would be, not
Mhm.
enough seats. Because
Right.
obviously Junior didn't have a ticket.
right, yeah. I think so.
Mhm.
I think it's just to make to make sure that like that
They
seat
can
is
sit
sort of
there.
I'm saving that for,
Yeah.
Barty Crouch Sr. and it's actually Junior sitting there.
Mhm.
So it's even if she gets up, she can't move over to that seat, nor can she like give up her own seat for him to sit down.
Yeah.
And there's still this awkward seat that nobody
Right.
took.
Yeah.
Right. So you make it seem like she's just, she's waiting for him and he never shows.
Yeah.
Like she has a seat and she's waiting for
Right.
him, which is also people might be like, how did a house elf get a seat up here on the top 20?
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, that's what Fudge immediately acknowledges. Oh, it's Crouch's house elf just saving him the seat. And yeah.
but when you think about it, you're right though. Like why would more people
Odd.
be more suspicious
Yeah.
that a house elf is up there and there's this other empty seat?
Yeah.
So there's two seats. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I'm right. There's two seats. It's
Mhm.
Winke sitting there.
Yeah.
Unless Winke's sitting on his no, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like how this
I mean, they could probably share.
Isn't
if
he
they-
under an invisibility cloak?
Yeah,
you
he is.
can't see him, right?
No, you can't see him. Yeah.
So it looks like an empty
But I
chair.
think it's described as he's in the seat next to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just no one really paid attention to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of odd. 'Cause those seats are limited, and Arthur's got already 10 of them. So
Mhm.
yeah, feels like there should be more important wizards and witches who those seats were for. But yeah, that's why it's so
Strange.
strange in the first place that, I mean, Arthur gets 10 and then there's Winke with an empty seat and Crouch doesn't show up. So all in all, weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then we see a pretty spectacular game.
Mhm.
Not sure how long it is. It seems like
30 minutes.
a little shorter than people would have liked it to be.
Yeah, seemed quick.
I mean, unless they put some kind of charm on a snitch, which I think they might, especially when it comes to professional games and a big event like this. I feel like they would put a charm on it that it's almost like undetectable the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. So you have a guaranteed time.
Mhm.
Because what if the seeker
Catches it right
catches
away.
it after a minute or two?
Yeah, what's the shortest game? The shortest Quidditch game ever. Yeah.
No. Probably a few seconds. I mean,
Right. I
that's
wonder
why I'm thinking they probably put a spell on it.
Yeah. Or maybe the Seekers just sort of say, like, for fairness, they kind of do like we're going to fly over here for a second, get everything going, and then we're going to get after it. Let's,
Oh no!
let's
If
warm up.
if the World Cup is at stake, I don't think they
you'd
would do
go
that.
after. Yeah, right.
And there's something interesting though that's mentioned, is the Irish Seekers, and Harry notices right away they are such a good team. It almost seems like they understand each other without a word. They don't need words. They don't
As
need
if they
signals.
could
As if
read each other's minds. The
And
Chasers, specifically.
what did I say?
You said the Seekers, but
Wow.
same thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So the Chasers, this
The
unit
Chasers.
that are working together,
The Chasers who seek to score goals.
Right, exactly. It seemed as if they could read each other's minds, which we're talking about witches and wizards. Maybe they can.
Were they able to perform legitimacy?
Right. Maybe
Did
they
they
have
train that? Was that their specialty?
for sure.
this season?
Imagine if that were, and they could sort of think through, and they had emotions and sort of thoughts and flickerings of images and things, and they also
Yeah,
had sort of their own coordinated patterns, and they're fast.
Probably.
And
I mean, honestly, it could be legitimacy, but most likely It's just really, really hard practice and training and having all these maneuvers memorized.
Yeah.
And knowing what to do in which situation. And like, I mean, that's what you do in other sports, right? You just memorize these plays.
Right.
And maybe you have another signal. Maybe you do have that ability somehow to give each other signals. Like in volleyball, you have, you have signs with your fingers, right? To kind of give your team or partner signals where to block or what kind of play we want to play next, and everyone knows it, everyone memorizes it. There's also certain calls you can make. I know in football, right, you have coded words for certain plays, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, as you're saying, it's just probably they're really well-oiled machine, and they're definitely outpacing the Bulgarians.
Chasers,
I think at one point they're up they must have been up 170 to 10, right? Is that true? 170?
Yeah.
Because that's the final score, 170 to 160.
Right.
And so it feels like 150 points to catch the snitch, so they only had 10. Bulgaria only had 10 the whole time, 1 goal scored, right?
Yeah.
Because they go up by 10s, I think, right?
Which is kind of sad, but it shows you that both the chasers and the keeper were pretty good. And also, let's not forget about the beaters. They probably did their part to keep the other chasers away.
Right, we don't hear much about them. But yeah, I think the Irish were really good. And again, their seeker's really good. It's just the fact that Krum is awesome.
Yep.
And he basically, the way they're going to win is if he has to catch that snitch before they reach the 150 mark.
Right. And they did already.
And they did, and they got to 170, and he's like, crap. And then his nose is busted. Things are getting out of control. It's sort of wild. I sort of think, I don't know why he did catch the snitch.
Yeah, and that's the big question here. Why did Krum catch the snitch?
They say it's because it felt like they were never gonna catch up. They were getting outpaced, and he wanted to end this on his own terms.
Right, so kind of showing off, hey, I can do this. I can win this.
Like, hey, my team's not great. I've basically been carrying my team, and, well, then why didn't you catch the snitch if you're that good?
Right.
I mean, basically, Avery was good enough to keep him off it.
Right.
So he does the feint once, and then he never finds the snitch again until the Irish seeker does.
Yeah.
And then he outmaneuvers him with a bloody nose, which is impressive to get it, for sure.
Right.
But it's like, was he distracted? Was he hoping that... Because actually, all he needed was one more score, and they would have tied.
At least tied. Yeah, what happens when you tie?
Don't know. But, you can look that up real quick. But also, 2 more scores is not impossible. It's not impossible. They did score once. If it was like 0,
right,
okay. But they have scored.
Yeah.
And for sure the Irish are in a rhythm. Why not pull out of this one and allow the game to continue just a little bit longer? It might have just been because he saw the chaos of the Veela, the mascots, the referees, brooms on fire.
Yeah.
His nose is bloodied, and this might have just felt like it was completely out of control. And he might not have thought that his team can get it together to score even 2 more goals, possibly.
Yeah.
But that's all they needed. Now, during the time that they take to score those 2 more, it could be that we're going to, again, score another 100 for the Irish. So maybe that's, again, what he's kind of thinking is like, yeah, we can, but the odds of us, swinging those back-to-back are just, it's not happening right now. So... Yeah, the other big theory out there is that it was a rigged game. Rigged. Now, how? Why? You want to know why?
Yeah.
Fred and George, how do they know this outcome?
Right, something's up, right?
How do they know that Krum is going to catch the snitch, but Ireland's going to win?
Yeah.
It's thought, maybe, and I don't think this is true, but that there might have been some sort of a back alley deal. Where people were trying to make money. There's a lot of money can be made off of this game.
Right.
And if you throw a game, and if you're a young 18-year-old and you've been forced to and you've been told to do this, or maybe the older players on the team were kind of like, hey, this is what we're doing. Yeah. And we can't beat them, so we're going to have a few other people. Who else made that bet? I mean, it seemed like nobody else did, though. Just only Fred and George.
Yeah.
So if more people were making that bet, it might be more suspicious. But, like, who's the 1 or 2 other people who maybe did make that bet that Fred and George did? Because that's a huge, like, the odds are great on that one. Yeah. So I don't know. Not a lot of oomph sort of behind that theory, but just is odd.
It is.
Odd. Yeah.
Real quick, so it says it's never really explained what happens in the event of a tie. some people are speculating, okay, if it's a tie, then the team who did catch the snitch wins. And then there's also some information about, Quidditch in real life. They have a rule: if the game ends in a tie, a sudden death overtime period will be played.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. So, like, first one to score.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep, first one to score wins. We got the snitch, and then first one to score. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
But, yeah, I agree with Krum. That's really, really either suspicious or selfish, honestly. Because what were we taught when we started playing competitive sports? You never give up until the game is over. It's not over until it's over, right?
Yeah.
And volleyball, you can be, the other team can lead 23-2.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks, and you feel embarrassed, but you got to keep playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you get momentum on your side, it's a game. You don't know what's going to happen. You cannot stop until the game is over.
Yeah, I think they brought the Veela mascots to sort of hopefully distract some of the chasers and slow them down a bit so Krum had more time to, because they score so fast and the points pile up so quickly that it could have been, it's still too close here. It's the second attempt. It's the second dive for the snitch. And I just feel like, I think he probably felt like, well, if I don't get it now, then we're not even, who knows? You don't win.
He was afraid maybe of getting crushed even more, like 250-10.
They were probably going to do that. And so then eventually in the long haul, it's like, okay, they're up 500-20 or 500-30.
Yeah.
At that point, then he can't even catch it. Like, I catch it just to end it.
Yeah.
I look cool because I caught it, or what's the deal? So.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying, if there was a signal where if it's only one goal that they need to score, while everybody's watching Krum and Lynch diving after the snitch, if one of the Bulgarians scores in that moment right before he catches it, that'd be
be shocking.
Shocking for the other team.
Yeah, it would catch them off guard. Everyone gets distracted because they're going for the snitch, and then that's the moment. So maybe that's even also how you score a goal when he does the feint, when he fakes, and everyone you draw their attention.
Yeah.
Even sort of the guys who are the beaters, right? They might even focus their attention then on the seekers a bit more, freeing up some of the chasers to go do their thing. That's a great way to use Krum. I like your strategy.
I'm just surprised that Harry and Ron are both like, yep, totally understand like why he did that. He had to.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no. Were his teammates glad or angry with him?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't get much.
Because honestly, if you are a chaser and you're like, man, we just came up with a strategy how to fix this and how to score two more goals, and you catch the snitch, we win.
Yep.
So anyway, one last question. Actually, we're talking about other teammates being angry with him. Was there a coach? We never hear about, it seems like in Hogwarts, at least, they coach themselves. There's no Quidditch coach.
Right, just your captain or whoever.
They don't announce a coach here.
No, I guess they don't. You would think they'd have a manager to help them pick the team, the captain, whoever it is. But yeah, especially on a national team like this, who picks the team?
Yeah.
How do they make it? Who has the cut?
I would think there is a coach.
Yeah, I just don't think we know about it or hear about it, or maybe there's some magical book that pops up and says, these are the best Quidditch players. They win.
Their names were written down when they were born.
Yeah. Maybe it is sort of a points thing, or there's some marks, or there's some scoring sheets that show you the top 3 chasers from that country and things like that help them kind of figure it out. But
I still feel like there needs to be people who train them and help practice them.
I think you'd be a great Quidditch coach.
Yeah.
Me? I think you'd be really good at it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Coach them up.
I actually coached volleyball. Not really coached. I just was in charge of like a group of a couple of girls like in our club. Sometimes I led the practice. It was fun, but it was also like a lot on top of everything else I was trying to do. And I don't like coming to practice and not having a plan. So I kind of, it was a lot at that time. So yeah. Coaching is a lot. Guys, if you're playing sports, or if you've ever played sports, be grateful, because if your coach is also a teacher, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
They work with kids all day long. Then they get a small little break. Hopefully they get something to eat in between. And then they spend the rest of their night coaching. And then they come home and they have to get up early again. They haven't even done anything for school. So please go ahead and appreciate those people. And you are one of them. right?
Yeah, I did it for like 3 years. It was crazy. It was
So-
actually crazy. And
Shout out
let's
to
just
coaches.
say our mental health and physical health suffers a little bit. You definitely have to know how to balance it. And
Yeah.
I think now I have the tools to maybe do it
Mhm.
and balance it better. But back then, wow, I did not.
It's
Especially
tough.
as a new teacher, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then I mean, everyone's kind of shocked, and it takes a second until the audience notices or realizes what just happened, because there's so much going on at the same time. Like the mascots are freaking out, the referee's not really there, because he's dealing with his broom being on fire,
right.
and at the same time, like they catch the snitch, but Ireland wins because they have more points. And then the Bulgarian minister reveals this whole time he was able to speak English, and he just thought it was funny. The premium box is lit up, so that was kind of cool. But at the same time, if
A lot
I
of
was,
attention.
I'd be like, ugh.
Right.
You know, you're picking your nose, all of a sudden the whole thing lights up and everyone can see you.
Right.
Kind of cool though. That's where they chose that box for the
Presentation of the World Cup.
Yes, and they congratulate the Bulgarian team, and then the Irish team, they get to
Hoist the cup. Let's go.
present the cup to their nation.
Yeah.
Really cool. It is mentioned that Krum, Harry notices that his coordination on the ground is not really that graceful
Yeah.
compared to his performance on the broom, which I think is really interesting. If you think about, I don't know, creatures who are meant to be in the water, and then you see them on land, and they look
Yeah,
kinda
or
funny.
people who were really good on horseback, and then maybe not as
Right.
talented off the horse on
Yeah.
In terms of running
True,
or
yeah, it makes
walking
more
or
sense.
daily activities. Who knows?
I
don't
just
know.
think of little penguins who look so cute and funny when they just waddle around on land.
Yeah.
And then you see them in the water, and they're like...
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I did the same thing earlier when we were recording for Star Wars for Yoda Stew.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about Yoda's fighting style.
You were like airbending.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. You were pretending to be Yoda fighting. It's great.
Okay. Quidditch match. Quidditch World Cup's over. One large event is over. The next one is waiting around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
Exhausted.
I know, it was a long day.
Exhausted.
Lots of recording today. We want to thank you, though. Thank you so much for all your comments and your owl post. I want to thank Rike, by the way. She checked for all of us. She checked the German edition of the Goblet of Fire. And last time we said possibly Perkins was interpreted to be a woman in the German version.
Mm-hmm.
And she went back and she checked her old version, and it is true. He is called a Mrs. Perkins. Then... shout out to Rika again. She also speaks Spanish and has access to the Spanish version. And there, they did it correctly as a male version.
Right. They didn't identify. She said that they didn't identify them as either. They just referred to them as Perkins. And then later on, they use male
endings. So that
endings.
indicates that Perkins is a man. And even in the newest version, like the illustrated version in the German Harry Potter books, they... changed it to Mr. Perkins. So they made a mistake early on. Thanks you for checking, by the way, Rika. I'm sure your second house is probably Ravenclaw, like you said.
Oh, for sure. Some attention to detail. Love it.
Very cool. Shout out also to Gabriella, who shot us another owl post, and also is so good at commenting under our episodes on Spotify. So thank you for using that tool. It's always fun to see. She says her Spotify name is Atla for Avatar: Last Airbender. We love that show. So I think it's so cool that you're into that too. Hope you saw the live action show that just released on Netflix. That was really, really cool. And we recorded a couple of episodes on that too. She also likes Star Wars and Harry Potter.
Let's go.
That is awesome. So cool. We love the new generation also appreciating Harry Potter and Star Wars and Avatar. Thank you guys so much for your messages, and we read them all. We appreciate them all, and we want to mention all of you guys all the time. So thanks for participating in the podcast project.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Thanks so much. Well, I think it was a great chapter. I think it was an exciting Quidditch match. Quick, fast.
Oh, I can't believe it's already over. It felt like we were hyping.
I know.
Getting ourselves hyped for this match, and now it's over.
Yeah, I know. Sorry
The
if you guys
snitch is caught.
So if you guys can hear my stomach growling on the audio there. Can you hear that?
Are you hungry? You want me to make you some food?
I don't know what that is. Quidditch match was fast. The Triwizard Tournament will take a whole year.
It's faster.
What if it were? In, out, guys. 3-day event. They're coming in for a weekend.
Yeah.
Let's get them out of here. Why are we making this a whole school year thing?
I know. Well, it's all
Jiminy
about the
Christmas.
international exchange, okay?
Right.
About
It's
making
about
friends.
international relationships and cooperations and whatnots. So, whole year, guys. Strap in. All right, though, that's it for this week, friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Shell Cottage Radio 94.7 COZY. We hope you're going to join us in the future. We thoroughly do enjoy meeting new, positive. Can you guys tell it's late? Can you guys tell what time it is?
It's like,
Can you guys tell it's 11 o'clock and it's past our bedtime? Not sure if you can tell or not. But in case you can and you're still here, we do enjoy meeting you in particular, positive Potter people that don't behave like babbling, bumbling bands of baboons.
baboons.
Wow, because they would keep us up at night, and we're out on that. Go to bed when you're supposed to go to bed, all right? If you don't want to miss out on the next episode, then be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Follow on social media at fleurandbill.
And if you truly enjoy our content, consider supporting our growing wizarding family on Patreon or Apple Premium. You will find all the links down below. Thank you so much to all our current patrons. We appreciate you too, Luna and back. We are going to take a little break next week, and then we will be back with our next reread episode discussing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Chapter 9, The Dark Mark. So make sure you tune back in next time. And until then, have a great rest of your week. Thanks for joining us in our Shell Cottage today. We know it's not much, but it's home.
Lumos.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Lumos.
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 Lumos. Lumos.
Lumos.
Lumos.
Lumos. Lumos. Okay.
Are we even recording?
We're recording all of that.
Welcome to episode 86, in which we discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Welcome to episode 87. Just so you guys, we can count. We can count.
Quick ad break.
Let's go ahead and check and see if this is accurate.
It's episode 87. Why can I not click on this show? It's my favorite show, okay? Let me see Shell Cottage Radio, bro. 87. Girl, what's wrong with you?
I made a comment for you. Yeah, I made a comment.
You are the best. I want to be
made a
the very
comment.
best, like no one ever was. Welcome to episode 87, in which we discuss Harry Potter.
I want
might...
Hold on. You ready?
Oh, okay.
I want a podcast across the land. That's pretty good line.
Broadcasting far and wide.
What's the next line?
This Pokemon to understand the power that's inside.
Hold on. This wizard to understand. Wait, it's like this wizard to understand the power that's inside. You know, something. We need to write that down.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
What did we
good.
say? Let's actually write it down. That's pretty good. What did we say?
We said
I wanna
podcast across the land.
I want a podcast across the land, broadcast far and wide. These witches and wizards to understand the power that's inside.
Harry Potter, gotta disarm them all.
Gotta disarm them all.
Da, 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 da. You teach me and I teach you. Harry Potter. Okay, it's dumb.
That's so dumb.
If we were live right now, people could help us write this.
Right, that could be a thing in the future.
TikTok. Tickety TikTok. Okay. Knox.